It took me a total of 36 hours to optimize this run and get the 65,000 points. I know it would be so much easier to just get the 6,000 points and call it a day. After all, Ye Shunguang has so many invulnerability frames on her kit that allows her to keep dealing damage even during enemy mechanics. All of the characters here are at Mindscape 0 and with their signature engines. My Ye Shunguang build is definitely on the high end. It's a 40 subs build with good flat subs, but since the skill had some seconds to spare, I am pretty sure that even with a bit less investment, you can still achieve the maximum score. So in today's video, I want to give a complete breakdown of how I optimize this fight in order to achieve the 65,000 points. This is not a Ye Shunguang guide, but I will explain some of her basic concepts before breaking down the fight. My Ye Shunguang guide will be released in a couple of days, so remember to subscribe so you can watch the complete guide as soon as it releases. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer that everything in this video comes from the content creator server, which means it's not final and could change before the official release. Ye Shunguang is a new DPS agent that basically doesn't care for stun windows. That's because she has this second form, which activates her Veil vulnerability, which is basically the same thing as the enemy stun multiplier. This scales with other stun multiplier buffs such as Dialyn or Deadly Assault buffs. You can enter this Enlightened state after stacking 6 points on her resource meter or using her ultimate. You generate points by hitting enemies, or if you have her additional ability active, whenever another squad member activates an Ether Veil. That's why currently, this is the Ye Shunguang best in slot team. Dialyn gives stun damage multiplier and 3 ultimates, which means even more Enlightened states with better damage potential. And Zhao provides Ether Veil, which gives extra points for Ye Shunguang. A really important thing to keep in mind is that Ye Shunguang Veil vulnerability snapshots the enemy stun multiplier at the activation time. This means that, for example, if you're using Dialyn, you need to hit the enemy with paper before activating Veil vulnerability. Otherwise, you get a full Enlightened state with a lower stun multiplier and lose massive damage. Now that you understand all the basic concepts for Ye Shunguang, let's dive into the actual fight and break it down for you. This is not a perfect fight, and I am sure there's still room for optimization, but I had a lot of fun figuring out where I could save some time and optimizing the run, besides just activating Mindscapes or getting better discs. At the start of the fight, we need to activate Zhao entry skill as soon as possible. This gives you enough time to generate another Ether Veil at the beginning of the stun window. Keep doing basics against Priest, but don't spend any energy. We need this to do a quick activation of her Enlightened state once we are at 5 points. You need some defensive assist at the beginning of the fight to make sure that you have enough Decibels and also stun Priest before 2 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. The faster, the better, but not so fast as we need to use some Enlightened states. Luckily, I got 4 defensive assist combo that gave me all the Decibels and the days that I needed. Swap to Ye Shunguang, use her EX special to get the 6th point, and immediately swap to Zhao to use her EX special and trigger a quick assist back to Ye Shunguang. You will lose the damage from her base EX special, but trust me, it's meaningless as this is not benefiting from the stun damage multiplier. Once in the Enlightened state, since we need to optimize the time usage, we only use short rotations. This is the same rotation that we'll be using through the whole fight. We start with the EX special to jump to her plunging attack, basic to use sweeping attack, and the EX again to go back into the air. Repeat this again, but at the last EX, keep holding it until you start the EX finisher. It's really important to start the finishing move, as you want to enter Enlightened state again as soon as possible. To do so, swap to Dialyn and use her hold basic. Once again, repeat the same Ye Shunguang short rotation, as we need to stun Priest before 2 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. As soon as you use Ye Shunguang EX finisher, swap to Dialyn and stun Priest. By this point, you need to have enough Zhao points to trigger another Ether Veil and also Decibels on Ye Shunguang for her ultimate. Swap to Zhao to trigger her entry skill, giving Ye Shunguang 3 points. Quick assist into Ye Shunguang and immediately use her ultimate to start the chain sequence. Doing so allows you to start farming Decibels while still having access to her Enlightened state and ultimate finisher. Use Dialyn chain attack to refresh King of the Summit and also generate Decibels for Ye Shunguang. Follow up with Ye Shunguang chain attack and start using the same short rotation once again. After the ultimate finisher, keep holding EX special as it will teleport Ye Shunguang close to the Priest and use her EX special. Immediately swap to Dialyn and use her ultimate to build up daze and speed up Priest stun recovery. as we don't want it to happen after 1 minute 50 seconds remains on the clock. Triple EX into hold basic, quick assist into Ye Shunguang for some extra decibels, and swap to Zhao and use her ultimate. All of this needs to happen before Priest Flurry attack, as we need as many defensive assists as we can to generate enough decibels, days, and get the performance points. Finish the parry sequence with Dialyn to use her assist follow-up and use EX specials to stun Priest. By this point, you should have enough build-up to trigger an assault, and this is really important for Ye Shunguang decibel generation. You start your stun window with Dialyn hold basic and trigger Ye Shunguang's ultimate. Cancel the chain, press EX for plunging attack, and swap to Dialyn to use another EX special and use Ye Shunguang chain once again to get the remaining decibels. You could do Dialyn chain into Ye Shunguang chain, but this makes the stun timer really tight and could lead to some rotation issues. Since we started with a plunging attack, this makes the rotation not optimal, but we need this to make sure that we have enough time for another Enlightened rotation. As soon as you finish the rotation, use her decibels and start doing the same short rotation you used before. But don't hold EX special at the end. We want to wait until Priest recovers from the stun and start teleporting to the middle before using the ultimate, as the huge AoE of the ultimate finisher means it will still hit Priest but won't stagger it, saving you some seconds between the finisher and the beginning of the Miasma phase. After the finisher, keep holding EX to use Ye Shunguang energy and swap to Dialyn to apply paper as fast as possible. Zhao should have another full resource bar, so swap to her to trigger her entry skill and put Ye Shunguang on Enlightened state again. Do the short rotation, and once Priest disappears to use the second phase attack, swap to Dialyn and use her ultimate to build daze and remove some Miasma shields from Priest. Dump energy on all of your agents before the Miasma shield disappears, but make sure to have enough Miasma to do the last 3 parries for the performance points. And after this, I'll be really honest, I was panicking here, but just spend your energy on all of your agents and make sure to stun using Dialyn hold basic. Once you start the stun, do the same as usual. Dialyn chain, Ye Shunguang chain for decibel generation, and then Ye Shunguang short rotation. Swap to Dialyn, but hold paper a little bit to make sure you apply the stun multiplier as soon as Priest recovers from the stun. Swap to Zhao to use her entry skill and trigger another Enlightened state. By this point, just keep dealing damage as you should have both Ye Shunguang ultimate and another Dialyn hold basic. You can notice here that at the end, I even finished my Enlightened state without using any of her basic attacks, just so I can aura farm a little bit and finish the fight using her ultimate finisher. As you already know, optimizing Priest rotations relies a lot on good RNG. It may take some time to get the maximum performance points, but I hope this rotation breakdown could give you an idea of how to approach this fight. And while it's true that Ye Shunguang ignores a lot of enemy mechanics, trying to lab proper rotations for each boss is still quite interesting. I will leave you with the full fight on the normal speed and all the builds at the end of the video. And once again, remember to subscribe so you can watch my Ye Shunguang guide as soon as it releases. Thank you so much for watching this video, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.